Okay. The lost daughters of Orissa border. So what is this? So human trafficking, basically. Okay. So what are the laws available with respect to human trafficking? What constitution says? What constitution says? Hmm. So Article 22, no, 23. 22 is right to freedom. 23. So 23 talks about prohibition of trafficking for any purpose. Okay. So this is missing women. See, missing women in two contexts. In earlier, I think Amartya Sen also gave this missing woman concept, and now also missing women. This is physically missing women. That is economically missing. Means in our GDP contribution, means national income contribution. What is the role of the woman? How much they are contributing? So that is also missing women. This also okay. What 12th, ಅಲ್ಲ? Use this as an example. Whenever you want to write about Kaveri issue or climate change issue, state examples. Kaveri Basin lost nearly 12,850 square kilometer of green cover. So it's not small thing. See, year-wise, they are showing in 1965. Okay. So it is 17,000 something. In this, the recent it is showing this much is lost. Okay. 9,664. Okay. In Kerala also it is, and Tamil Nadu also it has reduced. So overall, okay. Catchment area and basin. So I guess catchment area is larger. Okay. And one more word they will use catchment area. Hmm? Drainage system only, but no, here also this is drainage system only. But ಎಷ್ಟು ಏರಿಯಾನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೈ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಕವರ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಡ್ರೈನೇಜ್ no drainage is the flow of rivers across and throughout its course. It's not just one dam astack limited ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ catchment area is basically until which area that water is supplied, the same water. So that we can say usually catchment area. Okay. Basin usually covers in the natural course, whatever it flows, no? So that we usually say basin. This is my understanding. Correct, alva? You observe ಮಾಡಿ. They say that Kaveri catchment area. Until where that water is supplied, not for drinking purpose. So usually for agriculture purpose. So catchment area. Okay. So today also important editorial is there, means in 11th newspaper, calibrating a strategy for India's future growth. Okay. Who has written the article? C. Rangarajan, that former RBI governor, as well as chairman of Prime Minister Economic Advisory Council earlier, even who has given that poverty related measurement. So he is also like how Tendulkar and Lakadwala. So he also given a formula regarding how to measure the poverty. So here he is calibrating a strategy for India's future growth. What is this calibration? What is the meaning of that word calibration? When you say it is calibration, so balancing is not calibration. Adjustment it is. You are measuring wrongly. You are, for example, weighing scale calibration, fixing the error. Then we call it as calibration. See, title ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಓದೋದನ್ನು ಈಸಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಏನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದೆ ಬೈ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಟೈಟಲ್. I always give importance for that. Then easily the time to read the article reduces because of understanding of the title. Title and here one para, one line they will write now. Hint means main point. These two gives idea. This is required or not. So that is how the time of newspaper reading for me and you reduces. Difference is just by reading one or two lines. Okay, I'll get okay. This is required. This is not required. Okay. So please try to adopt that. ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಕಾಮನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್. Nobody cares about title first. Simply you'll start reading. How many of you do that? ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Good. Article heading ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ then because it gives us a hint. Calibrating, that means some error is there in the calculation or measurement. Okay. So strategy for India's future growth. So we need to adjust. Why they are saying that? Because yesterday means a few days back, RBI to Friday, right? Friday, RBI said that the GDP growth for India is 7%. That means our national income will grow by 7% this year. But IMF, what is the IMF view on India? 6.3%. Why the difference? Who is correct? IMF is saying India will grow 6.3%. India itself is saying I am growing by 7%. So who is correct? India is having its data. Simply here al matadilla. First quarter, second quarter, already it is around 7% only. So it is expecting a remaining quarter also. Means remaining 2 quarters also will perform that. So our growth will be 7%. Correct? So that means calibration is required. Who is right? Yeah, right. We are also having data to show that 7%. IMF is having its own calculation. Who is right? One should be right, no? Both cannot be. No, both. The calculation methodologies. That is what he is suggesting. ಎಷ್ಟು important articleಗಳು ಗೊತ್ತಾ? So he is suggesting, okay, what methodology they are adopting and what we are adopting. We need to adjust that, calibrate that, sync them. Then we can forecast in the same manner. Okay. Can you say that they are wrong or we are wrong? Anything may happen, but he is suggesting calibration is required. Artha aita? Let us see. Some data is also there. Some conceptual understanding is also there. So RBI says 7% and IMF say 6.3%. IMF and World Bank. So why RBI is saying that means in the last 2 quarters above 7% we have achieved. Even if it in the last 2 quarters if it comes down, then why they are saying 7.8 and 7.6 is there? They could have said 7.5% is the growth will be there. Why they are saying 7%? In the remaining two quarters, why they are telling it will come down? That is the guess, right? First quarter, 7.8%. Second quarter, 7.6%. Quarter means from April to 3 months. Okay, June to 3 months. 3 months division. 1 quarter means 4 quarters in a year. So first quarter, 7.8. Second quarter, 7.6. Third quarter means we are in the third quarter. Okay, January, February, March is the last quarter. So India itself means RBI itself is, thinking that it will be less than 7%. Then only it will become average 7%. So why it is expecting like that? So inflation is still high, but in last 2 quarters also it was high. No, but that is correct. That may pull down the growth. Then any other input it is having? Investment in FDI. Investment in FDI is? Either in first or 2 quarters, it might be. It was high. So you cannot expect the same investment now also. Okay. So on those basis, they will be calculating. Anyway. There is a movement towards deglobalization. So what is globalization? Integrating Indian economy with the whole world. That is a globalization. So it is true with any country. Integrating Indian economy with the whole world. What is deglobalization? Localization. That means disconnection from the whole world. So there is a movement towards deglobalization. Every country is trying to protect itself. Okay. So we'll not import. We'll try to reduce it. We'll try to produce on our own. Okay. So there is a movement they are saying, deglobalization. Movement. Many ongoing geopolitical conflicts and reasons are also there because everyone is having that fear. Will go under slowdown, depression. So that's what they wanted to protect. The reason is, that Russia-Ukraine war or Israel-Hamas war, correct? So that has created some tension among the countries, leading to breaks in supply chains. So what is the problem? If some country is fighting, they will not supply the goods or services smoothly. Russia is supplying oil, but it cannot supply in the same manner. So companies cannot work peacefully in those countries. So you know that whenever Russia and Ukraine war happened, the IT company shifted to India. Okay. So breaks in the supply chain, this is the biggest problem. So why they thinking of deglobalization? So that we should be safe first. International settlements in due to non-access to like SWIFT system. What is this SWIFT system? Prelims ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. SWIFT system. Exchange of information regarding financial transactions. Only if information or transaction also will take place. Only information. Transaction also take place. Based on that information. So a simple word ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ India UPI is much better than SWIFT system. Other countries are adopting UPI. In SWIFT system, first message will exchange. Messages will exchange. Then the transfer will happen. Okay. In UPI, simultaneous message transfer, everything can happen. So whole other countries are also using UPI. Okay. So SWIFT system, okay, was disturbed during this. Russia was providing this service and they are not ready to. Means that service is disturbed because it is very important. Financial transaction is disturbed means other things will be disturbed. World real GDP growth has also fallen. Whole world income has fallen, leading to reduced demand for global export. It is understood. So global exports are coming down. Many countries, including India, want to reduce their dependence on imported petroleum due to supply uncertainties and also price volatility. So locally produce whatever, like for example, methane production, from biotechnology. So trying to blend the biofuels, ethanol, Okay. So that's what we are trying. In India's case, and also shifting to electric vehicles so that as much as import will reduce. These are all the efforts. Exports experienced a sharp acceleration in the share of GDP during 2000. For example, in India's case, they are talking, this is important, 2013-14, that is income from the exports. Income from the exports was 25% of our income. Now, slowly it is coming down to, see, 22.8 and 18.7%. So, actually, because of in COVID time, it became 18.7. Now, somewhat back, that is 22.8. But still, it is higher, less compared to the peak. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್. Total income of our India, out of that 25% is because of the exports, but it is coming down. COVID, it was very less. Now somewhat back 22.8, but still it is less than 20. So that means we cannot rely on the exports. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತಾ? That is what the meaning. We cannot rely on the exports. So that's what while export-led growth strategy may not be available. Calibration they are talking about. Don't always calculate, okay, in export like this, it will come. Always we have to adjust ourselves. What is the new way of earning money for us? Otherwise, we'll collapse. Those who completed economy, in that last comparison, I have told what happened to Pakistan. Pakistan was dependent upon remittances. When suddenly it collapsed, it was disturbed. So always we should be having that mindset. Something goes wrong, what will happen? Next, investment rate in the medium term. Investment rate in the medium term. India will have to rely relatively more on domestic growth drivers. So it means not outside thing. Here itself you focus. To achieve and sustain 7% plus real growth, domestic savings will be critical. So what is savings? What is savings? After in your salary, whatever in early earnings, whatever you expend, remaining will be the savings. Okay. So if you invest that savings, okay, so we consider that as capital. That is called as gross capital formation. Gross capital formation. Nimna andre, see from where there are two ways to get the investment. One is outsiders, another is we people. So every person earning something is for some amount he is putting in FDs, fixed deposit, something he is purchasing bonds, something he is putting in stock market. So this is nothing but investment. That is a capital formation for India. Okay. So only two ways. One is outside, another is inside. Correct? So outside we cannot rely. That's what he is saying. So we have to focus on inside. That means each and every person in India should focus on investing. Means it is good for them also, it's good for nation also. They will also get returns and India will also grow. So that is called as gross capital formation. What should be the percentage of gross capital formation? ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? What is the percentage? ಎಷ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು? 10%, 20%, 30%? ಹರೀಶ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲೇಬೇಕು ಇದು. 40%. For developing countries like India, we need at least 40% should be invested back from the income. ಇದನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಮಂತ್ರ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. If you are super rich, I need not tell. If you are from the middle class or something, if you feel whatever you earn, 40% you invest back. You see your growth. Okay. If you earn 1 lakh, 40,000 every month you invest it back. Decide like that only. My salary is 60,000. So remaining you invest in different options available. Okay. So for India also it is required 40%. Out of our total income, how much is invested back? Total national income. What is the percentage? What is the highest we have achieved? What is the highest we have achieved? Estappa? 35% till now. Oh, okay, that is long back. Now it is not even 30%, 29%. That much only we are investing back. Gap is there. So that we have to boost, reach it to 40%. See, we estimate nominal saving rate in India is about 29%. And they're saying not investment, saving rate. So everything is not invested. If you have 40 rupees in your bank, you will not invest everything. The one area of concern relates to recently noted fall in the household sector savings. Why? Because of inflation. People are spending money because prices are growing high. So that's whatever the savings they're putting on the inflation. That means direct relation is there. Inflation is taking away our capital formation. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ರೈಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಐ ಹಮ್ 100 rupees ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ರಾದರ್ ದನ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಹೂ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಸಫರರ್? Whole country. Inflation is taking away the money, so we don't have money for investment. Got it? Here, see, that is a negative thing. If you don't have investment, we cannot produce more. We cannot give as per the demand of the goods. Again, the prices will high. On the other machine haktare, efficiency will be improved so that they can afford at the cheaper rate. But you cannot invest means you cannot provide. Again, you will suffer. So, why always we worry about inflation? Artha agutta? Inflation ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೆವ್ವ ಅದು. That is required. ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಬೇಡ. That is required. Without that, we cannot sustain. Means survival, sustainability. But it should be normal range. But price continuously growing high. It is taking away our investment part also. See, household savings are declined to 5.1%. Earlier it was 7.8%. Now it is 5.1% savings. You cannot remember all the data, but main data you have to remember. So they are saying that what is the reason for this is their financial liabilities are increasing. That's why they cannot save. They cannot save means they cannot invest. So if it continues, okay, definitely India's growth potential will be disturbed. If savings declines, okay, so growth potential will be disturbed. Savings are converted into gross fixed capital formation. So, okay, the estimated nominal investment rate is relatively, it was 29, I said 29.2. Okay, we achieved 34%, 34 to 35% earlier, peak. But now it is again down. However, deflator of capital goods is lower than that of all goods. What is this? One more word. Artha ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? Deflator of capital goods means what? ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? Deflator of capital goods. That means, see, capital goods, what is capital good? Consumer good. Capital good is one which produces more goods. Machine. Consumer goods, once you use, it's over. Correct? So, deflator of capital goods. Okay, lower than all other goods they are saying. What is the meaning of that? That means the addition of capital goods compared to earlier is coming down. Artha agata? The capital good addition is coming down. That means less production in the economy. The movement of the relative deflator of capital goods is somewhat volatile, not so fixed. Okay. See, nominal investment of 29% would provide real investment of 33%. What is the meaning of this? If you invest 29%, in reality, it is turning out to be 33%. Yes, sir. So why that happens? You are invest. No, you are saying that 4% because of inflation. Hmm.
Will always reduce the inflation.
ಯಾವುದು?
Invest ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ? Inflation will reduce that.
No, that is fine. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಓಕೆ. ನಾ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿ. Okay. So here you are investing 29 rupees, but in reality, it is turning out to be 33%. Really, it is turning out to be 33%. How it will happen? Sir, ನಾನು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ 29 rupees. How it will be 33%? See, ನಾನು ಹಾಕಿದ 29 ರೂಪಾಯಿ real investment. Why it is turning out to be 33%? Even if it is your investment is 29 rupees. How? They are saying that effective investment will be higher compared to your savings. How it is possible? It depends upon multiple factors. Okay, it may be the availability of funds at the cheaper rate, and also inflation. Okay, so global scenario, multiple factors are there. So ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸರಿ ಸರ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಆಗದೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯೂಜ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್. Sometimes I am putting so much effort, but still not able to reap the same benefits. Okay, so in average, they are saying 29% investment is turning out to be 33% real investment. Okay, so we measure that capital to output ratio. We measure this by capital to output ratio, very important indicator. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ರೇಷಿಯೋ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಸಿ ವೇ ಈಸ್ write it down and take an example and answer. Then you will understand. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದು. See, I said capital to output ratio. Correct? So take one example. Sir, I am investing 100 rupees. What is your output? Sir, tell something. You are producing something. How? What is your output? 10 pence you are producing. Sir, I am investing 100 rupees and I am producing 10 pence. So what is the capital to output ratio? 10. To understand this, which is better? Another time or another person or something? 100 rupees. How much is producing? 20 pence in 100 rupees. So it is 5. So you only tell now. Which is better? Capital output ratio should be high or low? High ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಹೈ ಇರ್ಬೇಕೇನಮ್ಮ? ಕಡಿಮೆ ಪೆನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೆ? That is good. You are producing 10 pen. Here you are producing 20 pen. You are preferring this. ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಯಾರು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಿದ್ರೆ she don't expect much. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, she is happy. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ನಿತ್ಯ? 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಿ, 20 ಪೆನ್ 10 ಪೆನ್ ನೀವು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಿ. ಅವ್ರು 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ 20 ಪೆನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾರು ಬೆಟರು? ಅವ್ರು ಬೆಟರ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಟು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ದು? 100 rupees. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕಿರೋ ದುಡ್ಡು ಎಷ್ಟು? 100 rupees. ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು? 10 pence. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 10. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 5. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ಅಮಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟು? ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಟು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಲೆಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಆರ್ ಎನಿ ಒನ್. ನಮಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಟರ್ಮ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಬರೆದು 2 ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ದೆನ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೆಟರ್. ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಲೋವರ್, ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಹೈಯರ್ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಓನ್ಲಿ ರೈಟ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 2 to 3 examples you only write, then you will understand. ಯಾಕಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಯು ಫೀಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಓಕೆ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓಕೆ ಲೋವರ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು, ಹೈಯರ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು, ಹಂಗ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ತಾನೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್ ಈವನ್ ಅನದರ್ 2%. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ 7% growth, it should be at least 35%, they are saying, to maintain 7%. For double digit, you need 40% only. So at an incremental capital output ratio of 5, which was the value in 2023, if ICOR is lower, achievable growth would be higher. Are we getting the capital output ratio, COR? They're saying incremental. ICOR should be less, then our growth will be more. Okay, that means with less investment, getting more output. How it is possible with available? See, why people will come to India for investment? Why people will come and do business here? Because to reduce the COR, one word. To reduce the COR, in their country COR is 10. In India it is 5, 4. What is the meaning? First okay, how it can be less? With the same capital, you can produce more. That means you have to spend less. Salary you have to give less. Raw materials you have to take at lower cost. So in India, the cheaper availability of the labor and other factors make their production cost less. So COR in India will be less. One the topic how to write that in examination why people will come here, or we have to suggest we have to focus on COR reduction so that outside investment will be more, people will come and invest. Done. Strategizing enhanced employment. Okay. So this is the biggest concern for upcoming governments. Okay. Providing jobs. The biggest challenge. Okay. And just I'm not saying, data is also saying, because of AI in future, providing jobs becomes even more tougher, because one AI has replaced everything. AI has replaced many jobs. So new jobs will be created, but the gap, the transition period. So definitely there is it poses the biggest threat. Okay, for all governments, in future governments. Now we are not even in now itself. In after 10 years, so AI will replace all the small, even creative jobs also replaced easily. Correct? Earlier, if you want to, make one sketch or something, you go for persons paying something. Now, just like that, you are creating everything. Okay, even movie making. Have you seen that? I forgot that application. When AI is there, you give your story, it will make movie and give. Already in place. We have discussed this just few days back. Future, it will be like this. He will decide who should be hero, we should, our hero should be blend of Rajkumar, Vishnuvardhan, Punit Rajkumar, everything it will create. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೈಲು ಸಿಕ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಸ್ಟೈಲು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇವ್ರ ಸ್ಟೈಲು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೈಲು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ವಿಜುವಲೈಸ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ. ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ದಿವಸ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಬರೀತಾರೆ, ಅದೇ ಸ್ಟೋರಿನೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದೇ ಮೂವಿನೂ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೀಚ್ಡ್. Just imagine what kind of jobs will remain. Highly creative jobs ಗಳು ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನ್ ಫೀಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಆ ಜಾಬ್ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ನೀವು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಶೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆ ವೇನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಬೆಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಶೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾವೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಥಿಯರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್. ನಿಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹರ್ಡಲ್ಸ್ ಬಹಳ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದನ್ನ ಶೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹರ್ಡಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಒಂದ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಅದೇ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲೇನೆ ನೀವು ಶೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಹರ್ಡಲ್ಸ್ ಬಹಳ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಶೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೀವೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ 100% ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಡು. ಸೊ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಹಾಲಿವುಡ್ ರೈಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ demanded banning, especially for writing and all, only used for technical things, because it will replace all those things. Okay, so jobs, what will be the status of jobs? Okay, that is the biggest worry. In future again new jobs will find, yaru sumne kutkolalla, but ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಅಂತೂ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿದೆ. ಯಾವ ಜಾಬ್ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದೇ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಕೊನೆಗೆ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಎ ಐ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಥೆರಪಿಸ್ಟ್ಸ್? ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೋ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ನೇ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಇರೋ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನ ಥೆರಪಿಸ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ ಕಷ್ಟನ? ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So now whom you call as the famous doctor, famous one, no? If their thinking, their everything is infused into a robot, that will become 100 doctors of that caliber. Okay, with much precision. Okay, ಯಾವ ಫಿಟಿಂಗ್ನೆಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ 30-40 ಅವರ್ಸ್ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಆ ಫಿಟಿಂಗ್ನೆಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. 30-40 ಯಾಕೆ 70 ಅವರ್ಸ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡತ್ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇದ್ರ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಲೇಬರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಿಂದ. ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯುನೈಟೆಡ್ ನೇಷನ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್, share of India's working age population is projected to peak at 68.9% in 2030. By 2030, our working age population will be peak. Means after that, it will not increase. Its overall dependency ratio would be at its lowest at 31.2. Obviously, other counterpart. These patterns call for increased allocation of resource for training and skilling India's growing working population. This data you must remember. United Nations study, what it has said. Employment growth is critically dependent on GDP growth and structure of the output. Growth rate of working age population is projected to progressively fall from 1.2% to 0% by 2048. Okay, now already the employment opportunities coming down by 1.2% presently, 23-24. By 2048, it will become 0%. Got it? That means no growth at all. Fixed jobs. After that, no more new jobs. That means 0%. By 2048 onwards, one job increasing also is very big challenge. Periodic Labor Force Survey, PLFS, means we from Indian government itself. The worker population ratio showing number of employed persons in the population above 15 years is increased to 51.8 from 44%. This is also important. Worker population ratio. Out of the total population, how many people are working? That is, earlier it was 44%. Now it is 51%. Okay. So somewhat it has increased. But in future, it will not increase. That is what they are saying. It will become stagnant. Going forward, non-agriculture growth will have to be high enough to absorb the labor increase from the agriculture, which is estimated at 45.8% in 2023 by periodic labor force. So other sectors should grow to accommodate the agriculture. Already you know that there are people in the agriculture who are working but without need. Correct, no? So here, that other sectors should grow in such a way that to accommodate that double challenges. Here also people are facing problem. For that, finding new job is difficult. On one side, agriculture also, all mechanization, everything automatically. So it will be taken care. So you need to accommodate that. That is another challenge. So labor substituting impact of new technology. Artha aguttalla? Facilitating absorption of productivity enhancing technology, including artificial intelligence and generative AI, would add to the overall growth. See, productivity will be increasing, no doubt about it. Our income, everything will be increasing because of this AI. But jobs are not created. Jobless growth. Along with this, India has committed with respect to, carbon dioxide emission. By 2070, it said that I will make our country as a carbon neutral. For that also, it is taking green grids initiative, one sun, one world, and one grid. Correct? One sun, one world, one grid for whole nation, means whole world, only one grid. So that power will be exchanged very easily. It is also placing an emphasis on the use of electric vehicles and ethanol-based hydrogen fuels. Correct, no? So climate promoting technology changes may reduce the potential growth rate. Another negative. From the growth perspective, we are discussing. When you are trying to contribute to the climate change, means reduce the climate change. That also reduces the growth. Correct, alva? Because fossil fuel restriction ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. So more challenges, that also reduces growth. One by one, ಎಲ್ಲ challenges ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. And coming to government, article na enjoy ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? He is explaining what is the required calibration, where we are going wrong, how we are projecting the future. So we need to calibrate. Otherwise, on the basis of existing thing, we cannot survive in future. So he talked about employment. He talked about how investment rate is coming down, how inflation is hurting, and how climate change contribution is negatively impacting the growth. No doubt about it. Okay, they are not directly correlated. In long run, it may be. And next, last one, they are talking about government responsibility, fiscal responsibility. What is fiscal responsibility? How much you are spending? How much you are spending? Okay. So adhering to the fiscal responsibility targets is also critical to sustain growth. You all know that fiscal responsibility means if your income is 100 rupees, okay, how much you should spend? Just spend ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. What is the ideal? ಎಷ್ಟಪ್ಪ? 60 or not 5? 5 rupees extra spend ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. 100 rupees income, 5 rupees, so that we can handle, that much debt we can handle. But you know that it is not just 5 or 6%. Sometimes even COVID time we have seen 70% also. Okay, but normally 9%, 10%. That is not good. Okay, that's why they are saying it should be around 6%. Means 100 rupees your income, 106 you can spend. Debt level should be around 60% about our whole national income. Okay, so that burden of the interest payment will be less. That means ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡೋದೇ ಹೆವಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ಬಾರ್ದು. This would enable achieving balance or surplus on the revenue account of the central and state governments, which in turn would reduce the government dis savings and augment the overall savings. Correct. Unnecessary expenditure will not happen if you are maintaining this balance. So that will help for the growth. But that is not happening. You know that in election, freebies, everything, how much they are giving. So that is increasing the debt level. No development. Okay. So that's it. So yes, time ತಗೊಂಡ್ವಿ because ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವರ್ತ್ ಇದೆ. It can become one direct answer for your question. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀದಾ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನಲ್ಲ, ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. You should be having all the perspectives ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Okay. Next, no more hot air about air pollution. This you read on your own. What is the content? Only one liner. I can say some data if you want in that. You said in the manifesto earlier by 2014, we will reduce the air pollution in all the cities, especially where it is high, and we'll monitor it and reduce it. Where is your commitment? That's what they are saying. No more hot air about air pollution. Means it is not in the discussion. Hot means it is in discussion. You completely ignored. Simply your commitment, you are giving commitment by 2070 will become carbon neutral, but not seeing a big effort towards that, especially air pollution. Okay, we have previously discussed about air pollution problem, I think 2 articles. Okay, this is a continuation of that. So let's just focus on some important lines. So in that manifesto, they said that present generation has to make this world a better place to live. So we have to control the air pollution. So we will ecological audit the projects of pollution indexing of cities and township will be done on the scientific basis. They said that each project will be monitored. I will tell you a shocking data. Sunday I went for book release from, I hope in Prajavani, you know that Gurraj Davnagere. He will be writing articles about climate change and all. Even in our YouTube, sometimes we have put. Okay, here his 3 books were released. He must, one book was about environment, one book was about panchayat, one book is about science and technology, means how it is impacting. So he said that in Supreme Court, okay, every year around he said 600 projects which are violating the environmental norms will be reported. Out of that, only 30 cases will be put in the Supreme Court. In the beginning itself, that 570 something, okay, that is operational. Nobody is challenging. Some 30, some people are challenging. Out of that, we'll win 5 to 6 cases. Only 5 to 6 projects will be halted because it is harming the. So that means 99% projects simply getting cleared every year. Every year. Imagine what will happen to the forest levels, pollution levels, everything. Okay. So they also said that we'll do the technological audit and pollution indexing of the cities, with cities, okay, and townships on the scientific basis. Pollution control mechanisms on that basis. We're not doing that. Simply some air quality index, some cities are announced that you see, but you are not taking that seriously. So, through concerted action, we will reduce the level of pollution in each of the mission cities by at least 35%. Okay. Living in Delhi and breathing is polluted air. They should have understood by now that promise still remains the same. You know the Delhi status? No need to explain. So, when, air quality index is released, the World Air Quality Report, okay, 39 Indian cities are named in the list of top 50. Whole world top 50 air polluted cities. Out of that, 39 cities out of 50 are from India. See the situation where we are heading. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಅಲೆಬೆಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ರೀಸನ್. ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಆನ್ಲೈನು ಸರ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟರ್ ನೋಡಿದೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅನಿಸ್ತು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮನೇಲೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ಸರ್. ಇವಾಗ ಏನ್ ರೀಸನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸರ್ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಸರ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ 2 hours, ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ 2 hours ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, 2 hours ಪಾಠ ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ದೂರದಿಂದ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 10 years ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ತರ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲೂ ಅದೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗಳು ಶುರು ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಇನ್ನು ವರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಅದೊಂದು ರೀಸನ್. ಅವಾಗ ಯಾರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ ರೋಬೋಟ್ ನಮಗ್ ಟೀಚ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆವತ್ತಿನ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಡೆಡಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ರೋಬೋಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಆ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಬೇಕು, ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಂದ್ರೆ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾಡು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾಡು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಪವರ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಡೌನ್. Distraction. Actually, getting, clearing the exam will become easy if you are able to handle distraction. Distraction ಇವತ್ತು ನೀವು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಯಾರು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅವರೇ ವಿನ್ನರ್ ಇವತ್ತು. ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್, ಸ್ಟಡಿ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲೇ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಬಟ್ಟೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಓದೋಣ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಓದೋಣ, ಅದರಲ್ಲೇ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಪಾಸ್. ಓದಲ್ಲ ನೀವು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರೀ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಟೈಮ್ ಪಾಸ್. ಅದು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಯಾರು ಫೋಕಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಓಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಓದ್ತೀನಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಈಸಿ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಟಫರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟಫರ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ, ಅವತ್ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಆ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಓದ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ, ವಿದೌಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಉಳಿದವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು 2 hours ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ಲಿ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಗುಡ್. 1 hour. ಇನ್ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ? ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ ಸಿ ಅಗೇನ್ ಈಗ ನನಗೂ ಅಷ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓದ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಎರಡು ರೀಸನ್, ಒಂದು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ, ಕಾಲೆತ್ಲೇಬೇಕು, ಯಾರಿಗೋ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು, ಅದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ವರ್ಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಂಗ್, there are days started morning at 5 a.m. Okay, complete continuously studying till night 10 p.m. with breaks of tea and okay. So I am not seeing that kind of attitude in any of the students. ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಕು, ಓದ್ತಿದ್ವಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲ, ವಿತ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್. Today we have to finish complete polity, means we have to finish polity morning to evening. At max on 2 hours break ಹೋಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದ್ರ 2.5 hours. ಸೊ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್. ಇವತ್ತು ಆ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಓದಷ್ಟು ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಪುಶ್ಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಕಾರ್ನರ್ಸ್? ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಕುತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಲ್ರಿ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಅವರ್ಸ್? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿತ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಟ್ ಓಕೆ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಹಿಂಗ್ ಎದ್ದೋಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಮನಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಆರಾಮ ಕುತ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದನ್ನೇ ತಪಸ್ಸು ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಇನ್ನೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೇಳಿದ್ದು ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಡೂ ದಟ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ. ಇನ್ನೂ ಈಸಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್. ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್. ಒನ್ ಆರ್ ಅದರ್ ವೇನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ದಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ದಟ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕಷ್ಟ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ದಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಉಪಸರ್ಗ ಅಂಡ್ ಪರಿಷ. ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಉಪಸರ್ಗಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಜೈನಿಸಮ್. ಪರಿಷಯ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್. ಸೊ upasarga somehow we can control, means handle. That parisha distractions are coming within. Let us see who has message. Let us see what is new in Facebook. Let us see what ChatGPT says. You feel it is useful, but without knowing, you will be wasting time in that also. Ati adre amrutanu visha. So to what extent you have to use? How much you are developing every day. Okay, if you are able to avoid the distractions, you can get success. Okay, so earlier I used to say patience. If you are having patience, it is actually attached to that only. Having patience and able to focus, means avoid distractions, so you will be the winner. So study and all is not big thing. Everyone can do that. So Lancet study found that 1.6 million deaths in India could be attributed to the air pollution. Okay, especially 18% of all deaths in India. It's not small thing. 100 people are dying, out of that 18 are from air pollution, which can be avoidable. Okay, so 1.6 million deaths in India because of air pollution. And India's this data important. Respiratory diseases and chronic like COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So 50% of the whole world cases are in India. Indian big. Asthma, 13% of the whole world cases are in India. Rising case of cancer and stroke. So this you can use in your answer. Whole world in 50% ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. And air pollution ಗೆ what is the monetary cost we are paying? 7.91 lakh crore annually. World Economic Forum ಹೇಳಿದೆ. Okay, ಇಂಡಿಯಾದ್ದು ಮೀನ್ಸ್ 8 ಅಂತ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 8 lakh crore for the pollution cost. ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಏರ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಬಟ್ ಅದೇ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಂಡ್ PM 2.5, you know that particulate matter 2.5 size, 10 and 2.5 they will measure. Our body is not designed to handle 2.5. Nature ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2.5 ಅಷ್ಟು ಸಣ್ಣದು ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಹೇಲಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ದ ಸೇಫೆಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇಸ್ 5 microgram per meter cube, but we are means much more than that. Okay, so we are inhaling, ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಲೆಸ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ okay, you all know about some protest about Great Nicobar Development Plan. ನೆನಪಿದೆಯಾ? ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ನಿಕೋಬಾರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಹಾಳಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಬಟ್ಟೆ ಏನೋ ಅಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಬಂತು, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿಕಲಿ ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದಟ್ ದೇ ಡಿಡ್ ಇಟ್. ಇನ್ನ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ವಿಸ್ತಾ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್, ನ್ಯೂ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು 20,000 crore project resulted in the loss of tens of thousands of trees in lutins in Delhi. ಕಡಿಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು, ಮತ್ತೆ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಂಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ 1899, ಓಕೆ, ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವೈಲೇಷನ್, ನಾಟ್ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. So this editorial is talking about, you know, that the Mohua Maitra is expelled from the ethics committee. Okay, what mistake she did? She has given her login credential to her friend, business friend. Okay, so allegation is you are giving access, it's a criminal offense, because you are exposing the data, whatever is available there, to business person. There is a nexus. Okay. Second allegation is you have taken money. He has uploaded the question. What question I have to do means MP has to do. Kela question kelbekalla parliament alli. He has uploaded on behalf of him. You are okay. For that you have taken money. So there is no evidence of money taking. Okay, leave it. So, is it okay? See, nexus is like maybe good or bad, but asking question is, not wrong. First point. Second thing, but if you are asking, okay, but he is giving the question directly and you are simply asking that question, which may benefit him. There we may find some negativity. Okay. Third, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮನಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟದಕ್ಕೆ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಮನಿ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಪೇ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಬಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳೋದು ತಪ್ಪಲ್ಲ. ಸಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಮೆಂಟಾಲಿಟಿ, ಇಫ್ ಐ ಸೇಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಟು ಅ ಪೂರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್, ಫಾರ್ಮರ್, he has done this, assume that. What is your opinion? He has put his question. He'll say that you are there to represent everyone. For a poor person, you are asking his question is good. No, one argument ಬಂದಿರೋದು. So we are discriminating based on, see, question is a question, whether it's from him or, but giving the credential is wrong. Agreed. Second thing, money taking, no evidence. Third thing, you are saying that draft, everything, bills, everything will be visible to them. What democracy? In democracy, transparency is the key. Actually, that is their right of every citizen to know the drafts, which actually you should put in public domain. Okay, but that you are saying that they are also seeing the drafts in advance. Drafts must be seen by the people only. They have to suggest. In democracy, they have to suggest what is wrong, what is right. How can you blame that part? Tappagide, correct. Okay, this is one part. Second, some ethics committee is there. Out 11 people are there in that committee. 6 people said that expel her. 5 people said no. Out of that 6 people who said to expel, 1 is a disqualified MP. Disqualified MP voted, and that vote is being considered, and she is expelled. In ethics committee, unethically they are behaving. Okay. So expulsion of ತಪ್ಪು ಸರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, and you are targeting only opposition. Does it mean that in ruling party nobody has done this? They are not saying that, but you are targeting only opposition person. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? 6-4, not 6-5. 6-4 majority. In that 6-1 is okay. So one person is suspended MP. So on the ground of unethical conduct, breach of privilege, contempt of the house because you violated the rule, so we are expelling you. Okay, but editor is saying that that's what his friend is Hiranandani group, that is he has used that and uploaded the question. So the fate of ethics committee also they are saying sometimes ethics committee report itself is ignored. So earlier it has also happened, and it is not good for the democracy. Says she has done wrong, but for that you take some punishment and all. But expelling is harm to the people of that constituency. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಆ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಬರಬಾರ್ದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಏನಿವೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ ಇವು ಸೇಮ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಫೈನ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ hypocrisy of Western democracy. What it is saying? See, easy ಇದೆ, ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 1 or 2 examples. What they are doing. For example, Israel versus Palestine. See, it is your right. It is good or bad, it's up to you. In democracy, you should be able to raise the voice. Somebody supports, okay, Palestine, somebody supports Israel. It is your choice. Nobody can stop that. So, Western democracy, they say that we are promoters of democracy, we voice of everyone is. But what exactly it is doing? Actually, it is suppressing the voice of the people there, indirectly. So that example, that's what they are saying, hypocrisy. If India does, they say that what type of democracy? You don't respect democracy. You don't allow people to raise the voice. Got it? But they are also doing the same thing. Example they are giving. See, freedom of expression is taken for the people. Openly they are not saying. For example, demolishing and targeting the citizens speaking in support of Palestine. Western universities have become major ground for this. Okay. So Harvard, Columbia, the private details of the students who sent pro-Palestine letters have been made public. That means indirectly discouraging them. This person is supporting Palestine. He will be targeted. So next time he'll keep mum. He should not speak. Indirectly, they are doing these activities. I remember, what is that? Assam circular. India, history. Assam open circular ಏನೋ ಹೆಸರೇನು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. What universities did now? They announced who are participating in the freedom movement, sent to their parents. Okay, your children's studies are getting hampered because they are going outside, not coming for college regularly. Here motive is bad. It looks genuine. Wow, they are taking care of our sons and daughters. No. Assam circular. Okay, they are actually not. By doing that, parents will bid them go to college so that they will not participate in the freedom movement. British will not be disturbed because of that. So, got it? ಹೆಸರು ಏನೋ ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಅಸ್ಸಾಂ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಓದ್ತೀರಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಸೇಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್. British, they were making the act, no? Universities Act 1904, Lord Curzon, he will study about it. Got it? So intention is students should not go for movement, freedom movement. So they will be safe. Athara. Private details of students, that's what here, one example ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. This is hypocrisy. Indirectly we are telling that don't talk about it. and some funding to some universities is stopped. So that means indirectly they are telling the same thing. So like this, many examples are there. You can read it. God ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಅಂತ, ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್. So this is about same thing in Telangana, like Karnataka situation, how they will fulfill the promises. They have given guarantees, how they will fulfill the promises. That is the same thing. Even our vice president is saying freebie politics will take toll on the economy. Yes, we have seen that. Developmental activities are taking backseat. Next context, you read this. This India has also done similar this thing. Germany's debt break rule. What it means? Some reserve fund was there. Government has taken that money out. Okay. So that's what controversy. How we have taken that. Government of India has also done that. RBI, some reserves were this. That reserve government has taken out. Okay. So that's what. Same line. For comparison purpose, if you want, you can read. They have our compare ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಚಾಟ್ ಜಿಪಿಟಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಓಪನ್ ಎ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಥೆರಪಿಸ್ಟ್? ಏನ್ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, read it.